Hi, in this video we will be focusing in on the psychological and social factors that were briefly spoken upon in the previous video, where we explored the biological perspectives that influence talent development, and mentioned in that video was the biopsychosocial model and how each of the factors can impact one another. A great first example of this linking back to the biological perspectives is the underdog effect. And this can become prevalent when we discuss the physical differences due to genetics, social environment, or the relative age effect. The underdog effect refers to the positive gains an athlete may develop due to their physical differences, an example being psychological skills such as mental toughness, determination, and resilience. Birra and Morgan 2010 state psychological skills are effective for attaining optimal athletic performance. This supports the idea that psychological skills developed by the underdogs can further enhance their abilities to achieve top performance, especially when they catch up physically to the early developers. A great example of this would be Lionel Messi, commonly known as the greatest of all time, yet he has a smaller stature standing at 5'7" and was diagnosed with a growth hormone disorder, leading to injections in his legs when he was in his youth. Despite these challenges, the psychological skills that were developed have allowed for Messi to have a great long-lasting career, showing his mental strength to overcome significant barriers within his youth development, but also the mental IQ that was likely developed when discovering coping strategies used to counter the biological differences, this identifying the psychological and biological link from the biopsychosocial model. Another way in which we can interpret the psychological factors is the connection to the social factors that influence talent development. An example of this would be the birthplace effect, which can be viewed as the developmental environments, experiences, and opportunities athletes may have depended on if they are both born in an urban area or rural area. Social factors such as a poor economic status associated with athletes can impact psychological perspectives. Linking back to the Kenyan runners from video 1, and them having two options if they want economic success: study or run. Many studies have been done into the impact of the birthplace effect. Van Nieuwstad et al. 2020 suggested that being born in a rural, less urbanised area may offer better opportunities to play and sample sports, yet on the other hand suggested that growing up in urban areas may provide increased opportunity when taking part in indoor activities, due to the facilities that are on offer. This vividly showing the impact an athlete's place of birth can have on their development. It is also discussed by Van Nieuwstad et al. 2020 how elite footballers appear from more deprived areas, stating elite football players come from more deprived neighbourhoods, for instance on the outskirts of Paris and Sao Paulo. Again, this can be linked back to the psychosocial connection, and how social impacts such as growing up in deprived areas can influence one's psychological perspectives, leading to psychological skills such as determination, resilience, and maybe even ability to cope with pressure, leading to positive correlation with success in sports, in this case, football. On the subject of pressure, a lot can bear down on youth athletes from very young ages, whether that be in professional academies or from parental pressure. Social factors such as financial opportunities can be an obvious cause for pressure to be applied from parents. This pressure can lead to an athlete developing negative psychological thoughts in association to their sport. Amado et al. 2015 supports this idea by stating it has been demonstrated that youth athletes' perceptions about their parents' attitudes and behaviours in the domain of physical activity are associated with self-perception of ability, positive and negative affectivity, motivational orientation, attitudes and attraction towards physical or sports activity. Jashawn Augusto could be interpreted as a prime example of this, being pushed to his limits at such a young age, training like a professional athlete, and having media attention at 11 years old, titling him to be the next Michael Jordan, providing great expectation that is almost certainly setting the 11-year-old up for failure, with external pressure likely to cause stress and burnout. And that brings us to the end of this video. We can all see the impact of the biopsychosocial model we have discussed in this video and the previous video I did on biological perspectives, and hopefully now have a better understanding on how they all link and intertwine with one another. constructing differences into an athlete's talent development.